Hello everybody, welcome to KSI Data Research. Welcome to Data Analytics Data Science Classroom.
So today's SQL tips. I'm going to show some kind of error message you're going to see that is related to when we try to aggregate the data. So let's show you the tips. Let's show you the issue. It is what kind of issue it happens and how you're going to solve it. So let me share my screen. And then just open the SQL Server. So this is our SQL Server. Okay, so we have number of database and under the number of database you can see in your left hand side. One of the database is HR schema. So we're going to open the HR schema. It has many tables inside over here. So we're going to take at least just one table and show you the aggregation and see what kind of issue it can happen and then how we can solve the issue. So when we write select all from employee, this is our, just to see all the data in a table. So this is the data you can see. So from here, we can just take number of column and then we just try to aggregate the salary. Okay. So if I try to aggregate the salary, we can write select sum salary. It's a alias total salary from employee. So if I aggregate all the salary over here, we can have no issue. We can see the total salary. But if I wanted to show this salary based on the one of the column, maybe by ID, job ID wise, we wanted to see the total salary. So what you have to do, we have to introduce the job ID column over here. So now if I aggregate this, if this sum salary already aggregated, and then if I introduce the job ID and if I execute this query, you see the error message showing the job ID. This job ID is invalid in the select list. This job ID is invalid in this select list. Why? Because this job ID has to be aggregated or this job ID has to be grouped by. Okay, so this has to be aggregated or has to be grouped by. So if I wanted to do the aggregation with the job ID, so if I wanted to execute this correctly, we have to group by the job ID. Okay, so if I say group by job ID, then it will solve this issue. Okay, or this job ID, if I wanted to aggregate the job ID, then it will be also solve the issue. If you just wanted to count, you can say total number. Okay, so now you will see the is giving the total number is 107 and total salary. So basically if I wanted to put any column which is not aggregated, then I have to put it in a group by. Okay, so if I just take the count off again, so that means we have a two column. One is job ID, one is salary. I'm trying to aggregate the salary. If I aggregate the salary, the rest of the column has to be in a group by. See, like over here, if I aggregate again, if I execute this again, you can see the same issue. Em- Employee job ID is invalid in the select lists. They are saying this job ID is invalid in the select list. Okay, because this is not aggregated. This is not aggregated or is not in a group by. See, two things here. Always two issue over here. This one. This is not aggregated or this is not group by. So basically, usually we put it in a group by, the one we put it over here, which is not aggregated. So job ID, if I execute, it is fine. So now if I put one more column, say for example, I wanted to put also department ID over here. Okay. So if I put department ID, So that means two column is not aggregated over here, only one column aggregated. Besides the one is aggregated, we have to do group by. See right now, if I execute this one, if you see the same issue again, because here is group by only I put job ID, but it has to be also department ID. I have to put it in a group by. Okay. So whenever we do the aggregation, remaining all the column which is not aggregated has to be in a group by. Otherwise, we will see this kind of message, the error message, we're going to see it. So if you read this line carefully, you will understand exactly what is saying. There are two issues. This has to be in a group by. So as soon as you put these two in a group by, then your problem will be solved. See now if I put job department ID in a group by, job ID in a group by, so this issue no longer is any more issue. So that's how we can solve if I see any that kind of group by issue. So hopefully this is the another tips. This is very beginner tips for SQL. So I hope everybody will learn from here and you will correct it this problem. So thank you for watching. So wait for the next tips. Thank you for watching. If you like to have more tips in the field of SQL, Power BI, Python for machine learning, advanced Excels, subscribe our channel. Also, if you like to join free webinar, follow our Facebook page and website. Please check the link below in the description. Thank you again.